All right, Friday, y'all. We made it. I don't really expect to make this like 2 hours long or anything. Probably gonna be at least an hour long, maybe an hour and a half long. But I figured get right into the news of it with Devil May Cry, or Netflix's Devil May Cry, and I don't like the show. I never liked it, especially when we first got trailer, or well, not the trailer, but when we first heard about it, and it was gonna be by the same guy who did Castlevania. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a terrible show. Obviously, I didn't realize it was gonna be how bad it is. I didn't realize it was gonna be that bad, atrocious, whichever. And you know, I'm just to the point now where I'm getting tired of these quote unquote normies or these tourists trying to tell people like me and others that hey, this so and so blah 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 and whatever yada yada, and it's like, dude, have you actually read like the manga before that wasn't completed? Have you actually at least watched a couple videos, or just a whole playlist of videos to understand the characters better or the timeline? No. Have you actually played the games? Please tell me you played the games. No. Do you know who Nero is? Crickets. you know, I'm so sick of this, man. I'm so sick of this, dude. And I understand, when it's not the first time when things are like taken to like the Western adaptation, like American adaptation, really, and just a lot of things change. For example, one of my favorite one of my favorite movies that was a video game adaptation movies is Silent Hill, the first one. Second one is terrible. It had a really cool monster in the second one with the mannequin. That was really cool, but that was it. The first one, yeah, you went from the main protagonist being from male to female, but there was a good reason why. There was a good reason why they did that. Is because Western artists is more like, hey, what was the mother and daughter, then I totally get what they were trying to do with it. But thing is, though, what's different from the Silent Hill adaptation and this adaptation is that the Silent Hill adaptation had had passion. And what I mean by passion is that it was actually using soundtracks from three three of the games, I believe. Yeah, from Silent Hill 1 to 3. And I know things are kind of like it wasn't really matching up with some things because each song came from different games, so it should be focused on a different character. Yeah, I get that, but you can't deny the passion, especially the camera angles within the live action and all that. Now I understand this Devil May Cry obviously is not live action, and give me a moment, y'all. And I mean, for God's sake, man, we're getting Agni and Rudra, and this is what they look like. I don't remember them ever looking like this in the game in DMC3. I mean, it's been a while since I played DMC3, and of course in the background we got the Snake Lady from Devil May Cry 4. So I think is we're not in the we're not in the tower where Agni and Rudra or Ruda, how do you pronounce it? They're not in the tower where Dante first encounters them. They're out in the open somewhere. And no, I'm not watching this anime or quote unquote anime, this cartoon, whatever, because I'm not gonna watch uh, something that really wasn't made for people like me in the first place. Could could this be over exaggerated? People posting stuff and saying it's over exaggerated. It could be. It's a possibility. But what I do know is that the lore is just out of whack. Again, for example, you got the Snake Lady who's supposed to be in DMC4, but she somehow interacts with young Dante, even though that's never happened. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't wish to know. So, again, as I said, I'm not really. Oh, here she is, right here. Wow, that looks terrible. That looks horrendous. She looked a lot better in the game. Wow, that is horrendous. That's scary. That's like Jester level right there. Speaking of Jester, where's Jester at? Where's Arkham at? Oh my gosh. And we're getting me on eating some grapes. So I have a lot of things bookmarked. Again, I'm not going through a specific sorry, I just swallowed there. I'm not going through a specific like order thing because I'm just going along with what I have. As you got the Devil May Cry IGN review. This might be shorter than it might be, so we might be getting to like some hard things. But of course, IGN stands for ignorant and gives it an 8 out of 10. We know, I mean, let's be honest, we know how stupid that site is, and honestly, it should have been shut down a long time ago. The review says Adi Shankar. Yeah, he's definitely shanking something, all right. Adi Shankar and Studio Mirror craft a fun video game adaptation that doubles as a deranged, bonkers, and blood homage to the indictment of 2000s Americana. So basically, what they're saying is that, yeah, this is where we're gonna start preaching at you about what happened during 2000, especially 2001, and all that, and why America is bad and what they did was wrong and blah blah blah. That's basically that tells you everything right there with the insight. 8 out of 10. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I got some videos. I do have some videos. I'm not sure I'll get copyrighted. It probably will. I'm not playing any audio or anything. But it says, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood did the Middle East metaphor with Ishval almost 20 years ago, and it blows Netflix's Devil May Cry metaphor for the Middle East out of the water. This shows a fundamental difference between Japanese and Western writing. And if you ever watched, hell, you don't even have to watch Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. You could have watched the first one. You would have got it too. But this is what we got here: the Middle Eastern metaphor. And then here's the Devil May Cry, and yeah, you literally have Green Day playing. Again, not having the audio play. American government opens a portal. Missiles start going through the portal and basically going to hell. And look, oh, they're killing innocent demons. So sad. Why are they in hell? Why are they in hell? And what do you and what does Adi Shankar mean by Middle Eastern demons? What do you mean? What does he mean by that? That seems pretty racist to me. So with this, I've been following this guy a little bit, Ratchet Infinity, and he's been keeping up. I mean, I shared a similar. Art, I agree with him on a lot of things with what I've been saying. He says, "How the f did they make Lady capture Dante? So I mean, how is she capturing him? Literally, DMC3, she the most damage she could ever do to him. I saw that I remember is her like headshotting him after he was doing all his teasing and everything. And it's not like he couldn't like get out of the way thing. It's basically like he just allowed her. So anyway, how the F did they make Lady capture Dante so effing easily? Like it's literally shown in DMC3 how very outclassed she is to both him and Virgil. Yep. Here in the show, and here's the thing, Dante wasn't even seeking power like how Virgil was, so that still tells you something. Here in the show, she not only managed to blindside him multiple times, but also neutralize him somehow, which is crazy. And also in the background, I heard something like they were supposed to like be like these. I hate this dude. I hate her outfit so much. She wasn't in this military operation force, and supposedly what I've heard about these four in the background, they were so good that I'm getting into spoiler territory too. So I really don't care. This is a show that shouldn't have even been made in the first place. And if people criticize me heavily about that, oh well. It's a terrible show. And it's shouldn't get a second season. Shouldn't even got a first. Anyway, they're claiming that these four were like really like is that a woman? And that's another thing about Addie. Always making these gosh, it's just like with what's his name? With Abby. Druckman. With the whole muscular women that but they look like men. Dude, what is going on? I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. So with these four, they're supposed to be like these ultra like SEAL Team 6 guys or whatever, and then they end up dying. That's what I've heard. I'm not gonna confirm it or anything, because I'm not watching it. Of course, you got Dante in the cell. He's captured. And, you know, how is he? This man has literally survived so many things that should have, like, killed him. Even being in prison and even in the original anime. No, this I'm not even gonna say the original anime. The anime. This is just a cartoon trying to make itself look like an anime. Where even he's able to escape that situation. Yeah, albeit he's pretty messed up during that point, but he's able to actually get out and get back to it because that's Dante. And God, I really hate her outfit, man. This is what why, dude. Wow, this show's so stupid. Oh yeah, and here's another thing too. This is one of my favorite characters, even though I know it's probably from one of the worst DMC games. This is one of my favorite characters, Lucia. Why the F is Lucia doing in the show? Not only does she appear, not only does she show up until Dante is pushing towards his 50s, but also the fact that she's literally a demon created to find and potentially kill Dante in DMC2. Just like Trish, in a way. That's like throwing. It's like, and that's crazy too. It's like, how does she show up before Trish? Which I'm glad they didn't show Trish or anything, but I'm just saying it's like, bro, we're just picking things up and just throwing it at the wall to make sure that, you know. Oh, hey, Flaming Claw, hey, Jonan. It's not a bad outfit. It's just not better than the OG. I hate it, dude. I hate it. It does not remind me of it. It does not remind me of that. That doesn't look anything like Lady. And no, I'm not talking about people's. The people like to say, "Oh, you just like it because she wears a sexy outfit." No, it just doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't like fit how it would look on. Like how there's like a. It's like the outfit is a character itself. No, no, not 50s. No, no, not at all. Her age is never specified because she was created by that. What's his name? What's his name? The old boy of the Ouroboros, the original Ouroboros, not Wesker. uh, gosh. And Dante wasn't even in his 50s by DMC2. No way. And that's the thing. Thank you, Jonan, for pointing that out because I went right over my head. Sometimes I just get a little heated and I don't. Let's just say I don't catch things on like that. But yeah, what I'm trying to say was that with Lady, it's like the outfit is a character itself. Like it does not fit her. It doesn't. I can see like Lady was like military or something. Like she had this military metaphor in DMC3 or whatever, but she doesn't. She's a lady with a gun, well, with a rocket launcher, with an attitude, and who has daddy issues, kind of. But she is justified why she has daddy issues. Um, I think they wanted to reuse her character for something better, but to be fair, yeah, no, I understand. I understand. DMC2, look, I said it before. I do like DMC2. Just gameplay wise, like able to jump off the walls and heck, even kind of like open world almost semi gives you illusion of open world. But the bosses, the storyline, like I mean, I enjoyed DMC1 because when I was playing on normal mode, and this is normal mode, I was having a hard time, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, if I'm struggling this bad on normal mode, I can only imagine how it's like Dante must die and all that. Gosh, dude, no way. But anyway, Lucia, yeah, that I'll be honest, that really pissed me off when I saw that they threw Lucia in there. I'm just like, bro, you're just grabbing stuff and just hoping something sticks. Lucia, and nobody really talks about Lucia. Not a lot of people. I mean, yeah, Lucia Age. Not yeah. In all fairness, I think maybe two needed a revamp, and even anime for me, I think it's warranted to possibly making a character better. I don't. Again, this is why, and Flaming Claw, you and I had this conversation before. I said if they really want to bring her back in the game. You don't need to have anime and hell, do a manga. Do a manga. Do something. You don't really need a show. I think honestly, I think it would be better just to bring her back in the game. It would be cool. If they're going with this whole route, like having all these different demon or devil hunters, like what they did with DMC5, like what they did with DMC4. I mean, sure. Yes, Arius, whatever. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So yeah, I know where you're coming from. Lady's an agile character, and where's clothes. It just it's not even about the loose clothes thing. It's just, and I know you understand. I'm just trying to beat it into these knuckleheads' brain. Like, no, it's not because it's sexual value and all this. It's just it fits her better than, I mean, you want it if you're gonna tell a story, you in my opinion, in my brain, how my brain works, when I make characters and I'm selecting, hey, what would they look like, what should they look like, which is a very important process. You would want your people to think, why is she dressed that way? Why is he dressed that way? Okay, so why does he have these dog tags with him? What's the resemblance? What's the importance of that? Why does he always have that? Why does she carry this weapon or weapons? What's her background like? Stuff. I'm just saying. I've been seeing this guy in X, and he's been getting stuff wrong about DMC. I believe it. I do believe it. That's why I'm not fully into the whole thing too, because although they bring up good points, again, like this, Lucia randomly showing up, even though it's supposed to be DMC3 Dante, the Snake Lady showing up, even though it's supposed to be DMC3 Dante and Virgil and all. I do believe that there are clout chasers. I'm I'm not trying to say he's a clout chaser, but I do. I mean, seeing all this attention that he's getting, I'm pretty sure it's kind of getting to this guy's head a little bit too, just a little bit. And I can't really trust a lot of people. I mean, this is the internet after all. You can't really trust a lot of people. If you don't, especially YouTube, you don't. If YouTube haven't taught you a thing, X will or Twitter will. X gonna give it to you. uh, it wasn't just the gameplay, man. The story itself was kind of. That's what. Yeah, I agree. The story was boring. The story was boring. It was. And this has come from a guy who played the game damn near 3 times. Because what? I did Dante, I did Lucia, and then I did Trish. Yep, I played it 3 times. Being very cold, almost no character, and I've always looked at it like this because it's after DMC1. It's after DMC1. He figured out, hey, I learned Monday. My brother was a slave to Mondays, and I killed my brother. I'm going to be very depressed. That makes sense. That makes sense. Just like in anime, he kind of had his moments of being cold too in the anime. It showed that he hasn't fully recovered. Hell, even in DMC4, when you see a bit of him, the way how he comes into play, it's like okay, he still has that coldness. But then when he figures out that Nero is the is his nephew, he's like, okay, I feel a lot better now. See, I do like DMC2, but it can drag. Yes, it can. Oh, it does, especially certain puzzles. Oh my gosh, dude. Especially certain puzzles. What was the one where it's like I think you had to move the statues in place or something under like a certain time limit. I can't remember. I never want to do that crap again, dude. I did like the story. I did like the story too, or didn't like the story. It's a cameo. Again, I don't really need to see Lucia. I don't. I want to focus more on DMC3 aspects. I want to focus on more of that. I'm sorry. I'm and I'm not trying to be an ass about things. It's really, this whole cartoon has put a bad taste in my mouth. Ever since everyone heard that it was gonna be directed by this guy. I'm glad to see her honestly because it seems they've forgotten about her. I'm mixed, man. I'm very mixed. I'm glad to see her too, but I also hate it. I love Lucia. She's such an underdog, dude. She is. Nobody I'm about to curse. Nobody freaking talks about her. Nobody, except for the true fans or the people who actually play the game. It, Lucia needs to come back though. She needs to. DMC2 felt like a fever dream. Truth. DMC2 felt like a fever dream. Truth. If they really wanted to bring her back in some way, I wouldn't mind a game of her own or just story, but her involvement in anything away from the original is better. Again, mixed. Both anime and games are fine. My only problem is she shouldn't have been captured like she did, though. Have you seen the show yet? No, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it, Jonan. I'm not. I don't. I don't care. I do not care. You can't get the lore right. You don't have a passion for it. Hell, if you don't get the lore right, but you have a passion for it, I'll give you a chance. But I can tell this guy does not have a passion for it. He doesn't. He doesn't respect it. I'm not giving it my attention. Well, I am giving it my attention, but I'm not giving it attention as in like watching it. I'm not. I'm to the point where I just don't effing care. I'm tired of being told, "Oh, you gotta." And this ain't me like targeting y'all. I'm just saying like, oh, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it and understand. No, I don't. No, I don't. If you guys know how I feel about Hollywood in the first place, you know how I feel about Hollywood. I do not like Hollywood like that. I don't, especially when I'm being compared to the bad guys from World War II, just because I voted a certain way or I like a certain person or whatever, or because I talk about I talk about things that are actually real world issues, and I try not to, man. I try not to talk about that stuff, but it wears you down, man. It wears you down. But I'm focusing on an aspect of this is something I love. This is something I really like. I really enjoy. And Flaming Claw got me into Devil May Cry. He got me into Devil May Cry right when Devil May Cry 5 was about to come out. So I played all the games at the time, especially the reboot and its DLC. I would rather play the reboot again than watch this anime, or well, quote unquote anime. I just saw DMC2 as Dante maturing then depressed because it was the last chronologically. But I don't understand because we had DMC3, right? Yeah, DMC. I'm sorry, DMC3, DMC1, DMC2, then DMC the anime, then 4, and then 5. Is that am I or am I just yeah? I think that's the timeline. That's the timeline right there. As I as I said, I think the show does bring the core of DMC, but every adaptation is not perfect. Even some of my favorite shows in the manga games is not perfect, but it's kept to it. Yeah, because there's passion for it, right? What I said, right? There's a passion for it. There's a genuine respect. There's no genuine respect or passion for it. I can tell. I mean, come on. We've seen how Castlevania has escalated. Well, D has descended. And look where it is now. No one's not really talking about it. Other than, oh, it was so promising for seasons 1 and 2. And then when 3, 4, and when this Nocturne came out, it all went downhill. As I said, until Dawn does wrong by all means, especially for anyone who has played the original game. I don't care about Until Dawn. I'll be honest. That's Sony's problem. Sony. Why would anyone want to give Sony their money anyway? That's how I feel. They showed everybody they don't effing care about their customers. F you, give me money, basically. And it's an interpretation. I hate it. I mean, still, I don't care. I don't really need an interpretation. I don't. I I want something that's for that actually respects people. The people who love this and wants to bring in new eyes. I'm kind of tired of this and this excuse of, and I'm not saying your excuse. I'm talking about like this, the guys who make this stuff. Oh, it's an interpretation. Oh, it's a remake, and we're doing all this stuff, new stuff, and yeah, and even though we're kind of doing bait and switch. I think where we're at right now is that we're not holding a lot of people accountable. We're not, and that's why I strongly believe in gatekeeping. If that makes me like some bad dude in some messed up way of thinking for someone, then so be it. But there's a reason why I believe in gatekeeping, because the stuff that I've been seeing, it's just I can't do it anymore. I want to enjoy. I really want to enjoy life a bit more. I do. I do. And it's getting a little bit harder lately. What do you think of this version of Dante so far? I hate it. I hate him. I hate him. Absolutely hate him. I hate Virgil. I hate everything about it. You're not wrong. It is interpretation more than anything. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Core value is where it's at more than, yeah, core value is that is in down and dumps. That's where it is. DMC3, DMC1, DMC, and anime. What? Yeah, I'm going by, yeah, DMC3, DMC1, DMC anime, DMC, okay, DMC anime. I had DMC2, then DMC anime. DMC anime, DMC2, DMC4, DMC5. I've always viewed it as DMC3, DMC1. Well, I used to view it as DMC3, DMC1, DMC2, DMC anime, then DMC4 and DMC5. That's how I've always viewed it. Plus, remember, Lucia does have various twin sisters. Yeah, I know. And this could be that, with the exception that she's wearing her attire. I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it, because when they were unmasked, they were more demon like. Like, that was the reason why they were wearing those masks. Aries basically kind of said like they were kind of like what, imperfect in a way, if I remember correctly. When it comes to the show, I don't think it lost the core value. Just the creator of the show has made another media some have looked both good and bad, but I don't think it makes the show bad for that. Well, to each your own, I guess. Like I said, it's a shit show. I cursed. Sorry. But let's get back into it. I've been bookmarking a lot of things too. So I was just looking at things. I was like, why is it that every DMC adaptation made in the West has some stupid? Yeah, exactly. And this is you cannot deny this. Why? Why? Why is there some social political commentary? Why? And that's the thing too. This is what I'm tired of. Why can't we just have Dante and Virgil surviving the Mundus attack, and then just killing demons left and right? Of course, they don't have to work together, but when they are forced to work together, Arkham, then you get like some really good moments there. Was there any good moments, Jonan? Was there any good moments? Any actual memorable moments? And you're not going to spoil it for me. You may spoil it for a lot of people, but like I said, I just don't care. I don't. And this show should not be praised. This show should not be watched. Really, this is just. I'm tired of it, dude. DMC was a commentary on how consumerism in the media is bad. Yep. Netflix DMC uses demons as a metaphor for a war on terror. Yep. Yep. I mean, what we just saw. Yeah. And like I said, I would rather play DMC reboot again. I would rather play that again because at least the boss fights were fun. Some of the boss fights were. This guy's boss fight was very fun. Virgil's boss fight was fun. Virgil's DLC was the best, to be honest. That actually felt more in tune with Devil May Cry than what I've been seeing so far. Then going over here with this, they ironically made it about evil Americans invading hell and killing the poor innocent demons, and Green Day starts playing. Yeah. Wow. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this guy's Christian. So of course you know what that means, because remember in Castlevania season 1 and 2 that the guy who, well, I will say there was a genuine, there was a good that was a good setup. That was a very good setup. But I am saying this though, this guy who's literally killing demons is somehow part of being a bad guy. Imagine that. Well, I'm supposed to feel bad for demons being killed. Yeah. Wow. Devil May Cry Netflix series. Wait a minute, where have I seen this before? Oh yeah, this is Lord of the Rings, Amazon right here. The guy, oh the damn, the orcs. The orcs were actually just misjudged and misinterpreted and all that. Oh look, I mean, if they really want to go the route, like there's actually some good demons, and they're they. I mean, we've seen this before in the anime. They done a good job with that in the anime, much better than what I'm seeing. Dante moved at super speed, saving a diner full of people, saved a bus full of kids, and Dante took a bunch of mercs non-lethally. Okay, it'll probably annoy you since he's voiced by Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to remember who that is, but I really just don't give a F. Oh. Oh. For real? Wow. This is how far removed I am from Hollywood. I can't remember this voice actor. Kevin Conroy, man. I'm not at that part yet, but there has been moments where we've sympathized with some demons. Is it good writing? Is it good writing? That's all I got. I mean, sure, you can have some good writing in a terrible show. I won't judge. I won't deny that. See, so they got do the whole again the lead bad guy is by having him kill the poor defenseless demon immigrants, the Christian character. Adi Shankar, I thought you weren't trying to disrespect Christians and put them in a bad light. Couldn't help yourself, could you? I mean, look, I'm not trying to show everything because again, copyright. And then this right here, they literally have Dante struggling in his base in demon form to kill Rudra, bro. Then they have Lady kill Rudra Eversley instead. What is this? I just, I'm not. Oh yeah, that man's voice actor who passed away. Wow, I didn't know that. I mean, well, now that you told me, I didn't know that he was. I'm not really annoyed. I'm just disappointed, very heavily disappointed. Apathy, and it's a shame too that his talents are being wasted on such a stupid show. Well, what remains of his legacy? I mean, now I think about it, DMC reboot is a good way to think about it nowadays. We have foundness of this game, but back then this game was hated on every level. Barely get. I wasn't there. I truly wasn't there with that. I remember there's my first instance of like coming across DMs like Devil May Cry was when the DMC reboot was coming, but this was like back when it was being promoted and everything, and I was in theaters and they had like an ad. I love the ad. The ad was so cool. I'll be honest, I was kind of blown away by the ad, and I was like, man, this does look like a cool game. Then I forgot about it because I didn't know. I was like, I didn't know what the heck DMC was until like literally when DMC 5 was on its way coming out, and that's you got me hooked into DMC, and I was like, okay, play the games. Obviously, we talked about it. I watched lore videos. I read a little bit of the manga. Yeah, good times. But yeah, the game is fun. Bosses are great, and possibly one of my favorite DLCs. Oh, yeah, dude. Tops, hands down. Virtual DLCs, the best, one of the best DLCs I ever played my entire life. One of the best. In the scene with the demon family, Lady pulls a gun on them after they hit her, which seems kind of in character given how she first met Dante. I'm sorry, I'm getting my thoughts together. Why is she meeting Dante right now during this? Why is she in military form? Why? Why is she in this? She should be finding her father. She should be searching for her father. Trust me, firsthand, if you hadn't played DMC before the reboot, it wasn't bad, but knowing where it comes from, you can see others' view, but in truth, it's not as bad. Not a bad interpretation. No, I would like. I try to at least play the originals first, then do the reboots or remakes, whatever. I try to at least. I don't know about struggling because Dante managed to fight a kid. Oh, that's her name. That's her name. Plasma. Plasma was a DMC one guy, wasn't he? The giant eyeball that took Dante's form, and that's a DMC one enemy, by the way. Agni and Rudra in the motorcycle chase, whereas Lady couldn't. I don't know about struggling because Dante managed to fight a kid in Plasma, Agni, Rudra, and okay. Again, and again, I know this guy's probably just obviously you can't really trust a lot of things on the internet. Obviously, you can't, but I mean, did that happen though? That's why I want you here, Jonan, for you could correct things. Uh, does she actually just kills Rudra, like for real? Even though Dante's the one who's supposed to, canonically kill him and take the weapon, and that was without his devil trigger. Oh, so she does actually kill. Okay, that's the stuff I'm talking about right there. And that's a tough and for y'all who never played DMC3, that is a tough boss fight. Rudra and Agni. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, I don't want to go. I do not want to go through that boss fight again. Man, I'm that was a tough boss fight. Where's Cerberus? Dang, at least I got her. Cerberus, if only. Oh, I don't know anything about this. To be honest, that other crap. See, you finished watching DMC anime. Again, I don't call it anime, it's cartoon. Netflix DMC came to the conclusion that in order to fully appreciate it, you must put as a clearer line between it and in the games. Don't mix them up. And I bookmarked this for a reason because I know I'm being biased here. I know I am. But at least I at least try to find something that would, support this Netflix this this show. Don't mix them up. Some stuff felt rushed, and I feel like 8 episodes just wasn't enough. Overall, it's solid. Genuinely enjoyed watching it. I'm willing to bet this person never played the games. I'm willing to bet it. Yeah, I just can't. How can you separate it? How? If you're really a fan of this, if you actually played the games, how can you separate it? How? How do people do that, dude? I can't. I can't do such a thing like that. Uh, I'm not there yet. Nope. Disregard that. Yep, that was something else. To be fair, these are different species, so not the same exact boss as what we knew from. What? What do you mean by different species? Like they're not demons? Are they like classifying them as something else, and they're not demons? Like meta level humans or something? Like what? Where are they? Let's see. Let's see. Spend. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about right here. Spends entire screen time talking about how good they are. Dies immediately. What's he? Yeah. What's the point? Again, this is a woman. This has to be a woman, but look like a man. Dude. I can't, dude. I'm so tired. And that's another thing. I'm tired of this. Tired of seeing. Tired of seeing stuff like this in shows. Tired of it. Netflix strikes again. Oh yeah, here we go. This is what you're talking about, right? The demon family and lady trying to kill them or whatever. Okay, I'm not gonna show the whole thing. Let's see. Seeing the then I have one right here. Seeing the reactions of the new DMC anime series makes me so glad that Bayonetta is not on the same level of popularity as DMC. Yeah, I'm glad too. But at the same time, they're owned by Nintendo, so I'm not really happy about that either. Bayonetta series developed by Netflix sounds like a nightmare. Is bad enough. We're getting a live action Claymore series. I gotta read Claymore. That's I I've been hearing about it for 9 years now, and I've yet to even read it. And I know it's gonna be good. But anyway, the live action Claymore series produced by the dude who directed. This is what I'm talking about. I totally forgot about this post. This is what I'm talking about. This I want to curse so bad, dude. This stuff right here. This right here. You know it's going to be bad because it's the same guy who did the whole Death Note on Netflix. And look, when do people still talk about it to this day? Do they talk about it as much as they do with the anime? No, they don't. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly how I felt right here with DMC. Oh gosh, it's going to be directed by this Addy Shankar guy. Oh gosh, here we go. Exactly how I feel. I'm saying it's not the same Echidna, Plasma, Agni, and Rougeau we know from. Oh my gosh. Then what is the point of even having them? Just make new demons then. Just make new demons then or something. Why? She's actually in a straight relationship. The butch looking chick. Oh. I don't I mean I don't care. It's just the fact that I see that thing and I'm like, oh, here we go. I don't care, I just hate seeing it. I'm just it's because usually within these modern times, it's just something's going on. Let's see where else. What do you notice about Lady's character in Devil May Cry Netflix show? It's pretty obvious what they're going for. And there's a thing too about that. I think a lot of these Western developers, I don't think I know a lot of these Western developers and animators are scared about beauty, feminine beauty, masculine beauty too. To be honest, it's not even about the whole cover her up and everything. It's just looking at the face, man. Look from that angle, and maybe if I saw it from another angle, it would probably be different. Maybe I don't know. I'm not gonna watch it, but I just, dude, I just no, dude, doesn't. And it's like it looks like she has muscles, dude. Bro, she don't even have muscles. That's what I'm talking about. And then this was actually a good post by this guy. It's honestly amazing how every time there's a Netflix adaptation, it's always butchered to staggering degrees. Like they just pick the most hateful, self-absorbed, agenda-driven, and spiteful people around to work on them each and every effing time. Yeah, it does. I mean, come on, is the man wrong? Shira, Castlevania, Tomb Raider, Masters of the Universe, The Witcher, now Devil May Cry. You cannot say he's wrong. You can't. It's a pattern. It It's a pattern with these IPs. Old school IPs right here. I mean, these three old school IPs right here. Tomb Raider, I would say semi, but it came out in the 90s. And I think this came out in the 90s as well. I think. I could be wrong. And then it's like, come on, man. Like when they originally debuted, I mean, IPs, when they first came out. Originally came out, I mean. I'm just, again, how can I feel confident in Netflix's ability about stuff? How? I don't. It's not a trick question, or it's just no. I don't. Uh, she does look better in the show. I mean, that's your opinion, man. That's your opinion. In my opinion, it looks terrible. Actually, I actually want to see that now. That was pretty good art. Ah, I actually want to give that art a like. Oh wait, it's refreshed. No, it didn't refresh. That's actually pretty good. Hold on. Oh, never mind. There. Oh, okay, cool. That actually kind of made my day. uh, I mean, anyway. Well, speaking of art, all right. I follow this person. Huh. I don't remember. I don't really remember who I follow. But thank y'all for being here. I know we're kind of getting a little fiery here, just a little bit. But I don't know. I thought this was pretty interesting, to be honest. Uh, Screen cap of this. Who are we shooting at? Dante. Uh, I couldn't think of him as Dante. He just sounds exactly like Nero in DMC5. JYB is a great actor, but why did they get him to play Dante? It should be like getting the actor who played Spock to play Captain Kirk. And this person says, "Sorry, do you mind explaining who's Nero?" This is what I'm talking about, dude. And now they're saying a new era for Devil May Cry community is upon us. Not really. It's not a new era. Netflix has issues no one is saying they aren't, but some of their shows aren't bad and deserve credit. For example, Bodies that show I'm not. I can't. I can't do it. I really can't. I can't. I'm just. Netflix has really just hasn't really been giving me anything worthwhile to watch, and I don't really want to give them my money too. And no, I don't want to give them my attention as well, as in like actually being on their site. See, lady's hairstyle and face looks accurate, but uniform covers her up, which yeah, I criticized myself at first glance. Again, I understand that she's supposed to be military operation. I get that. I totally get it. But again, it doesn't fit her. It does not fit her. Her character. I mean, I I'm tired of this. I'm so freaking tired of this. I just can't, man. Then Dead Josie. I was kind of surprised. If y'all don't know who Dead Josie is like back in the day. She did like these horror comic dubs and mangas and all that. She did a lot. I gotta revisit that channel. She did a lot of things. She did a lot of the creepypasta stuff too. When creepypasta was, she was like one of the, I wouldn't say one of the pioneers, but she was one of the top ones, the big dogs. So she says, here are things you can do besides hate watch Netflix bastardization of Devil May Cry. Hey, got some ideas right there, some good ideas. And she's like, play any of the Devil May Cry games. Hell, even that one. There's a sale on them right now. Read the manga tied to the fifth game. I have to. I'll be honest. I haven't read the manga for the fifth game yet. I haven't. Now there's an incomplete manga series for the third for DMC3. DMC3, which the rabbit demon thing is from the manga. And last and not least, Hate Watch, and the last not Hate Watch or even talk about the Netflix adaptation because I mean, look, I'm talking about it. Sorry, but this, no, I can't with all this. And this is what I bookmarked this because I thought it was funny. This is the whole Netflix. I'm sorry, Nintendo. Damn, they both start with N. The Nintendo thing for Switch 2. Everyone's like, drop the price, drop the price. But going back to this, Nero being Dante's nephew is him just being a young Dante. Nero just has more anger issues. Some I haven't read the manga DMC5. Is it good? I know it's good, but like, how good is it? Like, how good is that manga? And that's what you mean, right? Like, you haven't read all like the entire manga series. You only read some, right? Is that what you mean? Hmm. I'm enjoying these grapes too, and I won't lie, y'all. I was kind of scared what I was kind of scared what we'll see, and I was like, oh boy, we're on the following tab, so let's hopefully we won't see nothing crazy. caught a caught an 8K. uh, no, just DMC5. I haven't read the DMC3 manga in the best. So of course, if I know the right rabbit is from. Okay, okay, gotcha. Oh, look at that. 57 minutes in. 3 more minutes to go. Shall we have some fun, y'all? I actually have the first DMC light novel. Dude, that's awesome. Ow, I want to show you guys. I want to show you something real quick, dude. Because I want to get this for like a birthday present. I've been meaning to get. I forgot to get this for myself on Christmas. Give me a moment. Yep, that's it right there. Make sure I don't. Uh, Let me try do this. Okay. All right. Gonna do this. This right here, dude. I want to get this. Devil May Cry graphic arts. It's basically the art book. Dude, there's like, I mean, obviously there's like a lot of artwork and stuff in there, but there's also like some like lore tidbits in there too. Like, oh, why, even explaining like why they like went with certain designs and all that. I mean, which is understandable. So art, book, art concept. Showing the concept arts and all that. Dude, it's like this is probably like one of the better graphic arts book I've seen in a while. So much, so much details in it, so much passion. Hell, I love watching. I mean, I love watching. When not, I guess you can say like live action version of it where they're the actors actually rehearsing and their roles. Come on, we gotta watch one. Come on, we literally have to watch one at least. Probably one of the best ones too. Hopefully, I won't get copyrighted, but in this day and age, just ugh. Aha! Is this it? Please tell me this is it. Okay. Sorry for taking so long, y'all. I got it now. Speaking of DMC3,
What's the matter? Want to try another round? Of course.
oh my gosh, I love the choreography in this. Look at this, dude. This is so good. Easy, but so good.
Sorry. It's no place for a little girl. Sarah! Beat it!
This is so cool, dude.
You side with humans? I'm still naive, Dante. Well, hey, if we kill the girl now, who's the victor can party with? Heine's daughter. Have you come for revenge?
You forced him into this!
Is that what you think? Foolish girl. Yeah!
Oh my god. Can I just say something for a quick second? These fight choreographies nowadays, not DMC, but like Western wise. I mean, have we seen the Star Wars stuff with for the godforsaken what was it, that Last Skywalker, something like that, where they're like doing this whole fight scene. I remember like it was Rey, Kylo Ren, and like these red Sith troopers or something like that, and they're like doing this fight, but there's like you could tell like it was never on par with the prequel fight choreography of Star Wars. And just looking at this stuff, like this is like right around. It's actually right around that time frame. Last Jedi. Thank you, Jonan. Last Jedi. It's like it's a lost. It's like almost a lost art in my opinion. Over in the Western stuff, there's a lot of things. I swear, the West is just. And I'm not trying to get doomer with you guys. It just feels like there's like a lot of things being lost, or it's so steeped in mediocrity. It's like why would I even give it my time, my attention, my money if you're not going to do it? They really couldn't hold up a sword well because it was too. Oh, was that the reason why it was too heavy? Why the hell didn't they give her? I'm pretty sure they can make another prop that looks just like it but lighter. Why couldn't they do that? Then again, that's Disney. I'm not getting to Disney. I'm talking about Devil May Cry.
Don't be a bad girl, Mary. Or you can expect a spanking from Daddy later.
These are different parts, by the way.
Don't be a bad girl, Mary. Or you can expect a spanking from Daddy later. Stupid asshole. Hey, you're not. Hey, you're not. Don't be a bad girl, Mary. Or you can expect a spanking from Daddy later. Woo! Don't you know? It's birthday. Don't you know? It's birthday. Insane buffoon. I don't know where you came from, but you don't belong here. Leave! Zowie, that was close. You know what? You've had a trouncing today, haven't you, Virgil? You could have cut me up into confetti if you were in tip-top condition. Damn you! You're lost!
Because you underestimated humans.
I love it. I love how they do that switch.
Good girl. Pure and innocent like your mother. Very easy to control.
Bastard.
Ah, so good, dude. Shall we watch another one, y'all? Shall we watch another one? Hopefully this stream doesn't get hit, but you never know. Meanwhile, while I wait on that, looking at the fight choreography from the show is objectively pretty good. I have no doubt that the fighting is good. I will say that. Usually, within the Western media of animation, the fights are really done well. Usually. I have nothing against that. They even did the pool scene, Dante. Really, they did that. They actually did that, Jonan? Then why is it not DMC3 then? Why is it not DMC3 then? Why are they trying to... Well, I know why. I'm not going to say it, though. I know why, though. That's what I'm talking about. This should have been DMC3. Not DMC3 retold, reinterpreted, or whatever. I'm you know what? I'm just gonna show you my favorite one. It's not even a fight choreography. It's not. But it is one of my favorite scenes of all within Devil May Cry. Come on. Aha. Does this cover everything? It does. Okay. Pause. Thank you. And yes, that is Philip Lamar right there. Or did I say Phil Lamar? If you know who Phil Lamar is, you are an OG.
It was my assumption that those demons would prove far inferior in the face of your tactics.
You summon and kill. Summon and kill. I fail to see the logic here. price to pay for power?
Humans. They are but stubborn and foolish. It takes a journey to hell for them to accept and praise their god. A fact that tickles Irony's judgment.
And your judgments interest me not. For I'm here to reclaim what is rightfully mine.
That is what
Yep.
you
Damn right there.
think.
Or also,
And that
Vamp from Metal Gear Solid 2 and 4. Yep. Didn't know he. Yep. Right on the money, dude. I'll use a martial arts analogy. Kung Fu started out rigid and restrictive, and if we don't allow room for change and evolve, the style won't improve. When you're in the workforce, and I'm not trying to bog us down for real life, but when you're in the workforce and you receive new management and you see how things are being run and you're experiencing how things are being run or ran, and it's not getting better, it's actually getting worse. The old ways definitely were better because under new management, it's worse. I'm just going to say that.
is why I wait in your power.
You will fumble the composition of my quest. Though I encourage for an opportunity to battle a being of such grand illusion as you is a sweet enforcement.
How can there be such a difference between us?
You surrendered your humanity. It's that simple.
But you are not human. So why am I inferior?
You assume humans are weak. Okay, yeah, their bodies lack the physical ability of a demon. But humans possess something that demons don't.
What? What is it that demons lack? Please, for the sake of my research, please tell me. No.
If you're gonna continue your research in the next world,
No.
do your homework first. And the rest is silence.
That was one of my favorites right there. Even in the workforce, everybody does have their own way about doing things, and micromanaging won't help get the job done. Hey, the way I see it, even if it does get a season 2, I'm willing to bet it would be very forgettable and not real. And it's not. I'm talking about longevity here. I'm talking about things I want to passionately talk about for years to come. I don't want it to run its course just because, that this is literally the first season. It might be the only season. No, Netflix is uh I'm sorry, y'all. No, Netflix's pattern based on their previous history of things. But if you're gonna put your best foot forward, you're not gonna you don't want to create division, and that's exactly what this show is doing. Is creating division between the old and new fans, I should say. To the point, I don't even call these new fans. These are people who don't understand, or they're so used to mediocrity that they'll just take it. And I'm not calling you that, Joan, and I'm not calling anyone really my people who like to watch me and all that, because you guys can actually tell me, hey, what's what. You guys do have your own opinions about things, and I respect that. I'm talking about the people who can't form their own opinions because they have to literally get some update from Twitter and like or some social media. Like I said, I've been against this from day one when they announced that, hey, Addie's whatever is going to be working on this. There's a reason why you see a lot of these IPs, especially Japanese IPs, just going down. Let's just say these American IPs are going down, and no, it's not really. And they're not making the same amount of money that they were back in the day. It's not because the fans got older. It's because of how there's this attitude towards the fans. Now let me take DMC to Netflix isn't going to the top the games in story, but it can always add something newer. I don't need nothing new. I don't need nothing new. If you can't write for the interest of the people who helped make DMC what it is, then you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. I'm sick and tired of it. I really am. Like Street Fighter 2V, it's not an accurate representation. I don't know anything about Street Fighter. I'm coming off right off the bat that I know nothing about no Street Fighter. Street Fighter has never really interested me, other than some certain characters. But it's not an accurate representation. It's its own thing. But they took things from Chun-Li's dad, Darien, and used his name to design the part from her main story. I don't know anything about that. I see new fans as just people wanting to join new environments. As I said, I'm not an original Final Fantasy gamer, but now I'm addicted to it because I'm certainly not destroying the community. Because it's the same thing with me, Flaming Claw. It's the same thing with me when you got me into DMC. Because there's a respect. That's another thing too. That's the thing I've been always talking about within this stream, and heck, maybe even previous streams. There's no respect. There's none. There's no respect in this show. I can tell. Plus, I see media as anyone can join. The people who are problems are the ones who make it a problem, but there are new people to series who generally want to join without issue. That's because they have respect. As I said, if you don't have respect or passion for it, why are you doing it in the first place? Why are you making stuff in the first place if you don't have a passion or respect? It's the same thing with the Resident Evil live action films. Look how they've been going. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I understand, but we do live in a time where people want to be cynical for sake. Like, God. Melanie Mac was a plant. Melanie Mac. When I started seeing this before, she went on that whole religious tirade. But when I started seeing the when I started making connections of who she truly is, I noped out real quick. And that wasn't me like doing research on her or anything. That was just I literally would watch videos. I watched videos. I watched her videos like for 2 months, I think, and I was just like, no, there's something wrong. There's something just not right about her. I don't know what it is, but I gotta stop, and I did. And then lo and behold, a year later, uh, that whole incident happens. You When you do gatekeep a game or community, I think it deprives it from people who can add more depth to it, people who evolve and see things differently. Yeah, I again, if they're acting in the goodwill of the community, of the actual fans, and they're actually a fan themselves. But until then, I truly and wholeheartedly believe that gatekeeping these crazies, these tourists, these fake individuals, they need to go. They don't need to be in. They don't need to be anywhere near stuff that I like, or that you like, or that Jonan likes, because they have been ruining stuff that we enjoy. It's come to a point where I can't really enjoy a lot of things anymore, other than my own stuff and some other indie creatives. It's come to that. It's come down to that point for me. I can't. I mean, me and you are only a few years apart, but yet our experiences and views are highly different. And bringing it to a conversation, regardless old or new, can bring news. It can. And this is why I want you and Jonan here, because y'all actually are not yes men. I like that, but we're not argumentative too, where we're calling people, calling each other by like you effing, but we're actually having this debate where should we be more open, or we shouldn't be more open. It's the whole thing. Like, this is a good analogy right here too, where America was. Here I go with being a history buff, kind of. Not well, I wouldn't say history buff, but I do like history. Where where America was isolationist, hell, even Japan was isolationist, and then they start opening the borders and like, oh hey, we're getting an influx of all these different cultures and stuff. You got people opposed to that, and even still to this day, I have some thoughts about that, about now how things are working nowadays. But anyway, it will never be to the point where with fandoms. But I want to protect. I won't say. I guess it is a way of protecting. I I truly believe that. I truly believe that we need to start limiting some things from that comes over here. I mean, I'm truly believing that, and if it affects me too, okay, fine. But at least I know won't have to be dealing with stuff that we deal with now, with these parasites being involved in stuff, like with Mortal Kombat, for example. Flaming Claw, you and I love Mortal Kombat. We love. I mean, I love Mortal Kombat 9 to death. I love it. I love the attitude of it. Heck, you love the old school attitude of it all. But then right around MK11 and then MK1, it's just, yeah, new eyes and everything new. But then look how that's going. Was MK11 well received? No, not really. Even when they tried to fix the story, it wasn't really well received. MK1, the reboot, I guess, that's very iffy in my opinion. and it still bastardizes characters that were well known and loved. To be fair, Resident Evil movies derailed and made everything about Atlas. Yeah, yeah, that's because what's her name, Mila Jovovich is also she wasn't the wife of the guy who made the Mortal Kombat movies yet, but she it was like around the third. It had to be around the third movie that she got married to him, and then it started becoming more and more about yeah, yeah. Anyway, to be fair, the Resident Evil movies were derailed and made everything about Alice. The Netflix is about Dante and his supporting characters like Lady and Enzo, who was the manga. Yeah, you're right, Enzo. Good old Enzo. There is one thing I will say though, because I gotta be fair here. In the anime, he was white, but in DMC5 he's black. I'm just, look, I wish they kind of like explored that. Like, hey, did something like crazy happen where like it was like a hell portal incident or whatever that kind of like switched him. I think that would be kind of fascinating, to be honest. I think that'd be kind of funny actually, and it would make sense too. I do really hate. I truly hate when stuff like it just comes out of nowhere. Like, oh, like big changes like that. Well, I wouldn't say it's big. Well, it was big to me because watching the anime and everything. But in the it's just man. Anyway, see, I don't blame you, but I just can't find things that's wrong when it's not there. But I'm halfway through, and we've seen how shows have took swan dives to bad endings, which is on the table. When John Tobias left, they ran out of ideas for MK and kept recycling his stories ever since MK9. Yeah, yeah, and this is a sad state of things, y'all. We're really in a sad state of entertainment right now. The American entertainment, I feel, is at the cusp of it's like an odd. Oh, Morrison. I'm sorry. Morrison, yes. Morrison, yes. You think about Morrison, not Enzo. Enzo's the yes, yes. Yeah, that's who I'm thinking. Yes, yes. Enzo, yes, 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 yes. He was. Enzo. That's the whole theory about Bayonetta being connected to the DMC verse. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah, that I'm getting them mixed up. Morris, yeah, Enzo, and I'll be honest, I totally ship Bayonetta and Dante. It works. I don't even do shipping like that, but when I saw that Enzo was in a little panel DMC, I'm like, bro, here we go. Okay, where was I? Personally, don't believe most creators wants a toxic community, but it can happen. But when a series or a franchise gets too popular, I don't know. I don't know. I have a hard time. I have a hard time believing some stuff like that. I do, given how given how things are so fricked up. I just it just feels like there's not a lot of genuine takes, genuine people. It feels like it's always calculated just to get the more like controversial take and get the more attention and all this and the third. Uh, this is why when it comes to new media, I think they should ignore new and old people joining it to focus on what they want to get out there. A piece of art not altered by anyone but the artist. And that's another thing too with these artists, these quote unquote artists. That I do. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead. I'm sorry. Especially these artists, quote unquote, they fix things. like, oh, you made the character light skinned, but she's actually black. Those weirdos. And it's like, dude, don't you understand lighting? When you're in the light, your skin usually does get lighter. Duh. Ever heard of shadows? I mean, dude. And yes, there has been real life arguments about that crap. I think it was actually Pokemon. I think it was like a Pokemon character, actually, like a Pokemon trainer. Anyway, it's it's just to the point where these things. I think I'm repeating myself here, y'all. I'm sorry if I am. We shouldn't even be having conversations like this, to be honest. I wanted this. You know, I would love to be wrong about this, Jonan. I would love to be wrong about this show not being good. But the more proof I see about this stuff, and yes, I understand people will exaggerate things. I understand that. But I'm talking about Adi Shankar, or how you pronounce his name, having had his history with Castlevania and things he touches and does. It's not good. I mean, again, we can do this whole thing about being, oh, it's interpretation or it's an alternate universe. I If it was like an alternate universe, I mean, I guess it is in a way. When it's like a alternate universe, I guess I could let it slide. I guess, but I would much rather watch something that actually it does stay true. And maybe there are things that do change here and there. Okay, I'm fine with that. But if it has the actual passion for the IP, it would be a lot better. It would be. And I'm not saying the anime. I'm not talking about the Netflix. I'm talking about the anime. And there were some times in the anime where I question things like, okay, why was this even part of, like, what's the point of this? This scene in this anime and yada yada. I have my doubts about it at times, but I will say I actually did enjoy it because it continued on with Dante, and I'm getting real tired of seeing young Dante. I really am. He's been in Marvel vs. Capcom twice as young Dante. DMC3. I mean, if you want to do DMC3, both Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Infinity or Infinite, whichever it was. Now this cartoon, this Netflix cartoon, and then there's something. Oh, Peak of Combat. I'm getting tired of Peak of Combat. It's just I'm seeing too many, and I hate it. I understand DMC3 is like one of the best selling DMC games. I understand that. But come on, dude. There's like other variations of Dante. Like, for real, dude. I'm getting tired of this. Enzo and Morrison did have the same job though, but I'm gonna lie, I did like Morrison better in DMC5. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like Morrison better in DMC5 too. Don't get me wrong. I do ship Dante with Lucio person. I do too. I do too. I'm talking like if we're doing like a collaboration, it'd be Bayo and Dante. Now we're doing like in universe Dante and Lucia. Definitely Dante and Lucia. uh, it's more of the community becomes a problem when they know they directly influence the creator. It shouldn't be that. Just focus on the story, then be fairly judged by those who know what they're doing. Then that creator's weak. Our creators are weak. If a creator is being influenced negatively to go about these things like Ruby, then personally you should lose a lot of things. You should lose a lot of things. Mainly the show or whatever you're working on. You should lose that because you're entertaining the death of your beloved creation. and they're deservedly so. You should be taken down with, you creatively taken down with, hey, you're not. It's not a thing anymore. You killed it. Good job. And that's basically what happened with Ruby. But everyone can give their points on it. Everyone can. Everyone can. But when things are adding up and things are making sense, I admit it's a huge difference. We all know that. Nessa is the Pokemon trainer you think of. Yeah, Nessa. I say give it a shot one day. I mean, you and me both had this same problem. Dead Space remake and Callisto Protocol came out. I hate EA. I after what EA has done to me and a lot of people, I'm telling you, Flameclaw, I'm telling you, dude, I'm to the point where I'm very apathetic about things. You treat me a certain way one time, I'm done. I learned I've had it. I had it with the repeated abuse of being a customer, trying to being a good customer, and getting my metaphorically getting spit on. It only took CD Projekt Red one time with 2070 with their game 2077. And granted, I wasn't really like big into CDPR until like Witcher 3. Witcher 3 now, and even then, that was like late stage. I joined in like late stage of Witcher 3. And these promises they make, these people, these companies making these promises, I'm done. I'm done. I can see if there's like a genuine mistake, but when I see like it's not genuine, where it's purposeful even, and it's just to get something out real quick, I'm done. I can't. I just no. Tired of it. I have better things to do with my money, and my time, and my attention. At the end of the day, I cannot get my curse. At the end of the day, I cannot get my time back. It's about time to me. Time is very important. We thought Callisto would do way better. Yeah, we did. We thought the Callisto was going to do way better. We thought so, and kept saying that, giving no judgment to DSR. But in the end, what happened? Callisto fell, and Dead Space was the yeah, it did. I won't lie, it did. I was really hyped about that game too, and I played the first. I played the original Dead Space. I never beat 2. I never beat 3. But I played. This is before they started adding all the patches, and even they released the DLC. I beat it on the hardest difficulty mode. They now have a new hardest difficulty mode, but I beat on the then hardest difficulty mode, and I was like, that's it. The final boss fight was just horrendous. It was so easy. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyway, I'm not all big on Castlevania, but people did like the first 2 seasons. I love the first 2 seasons. I loved them. I was so hyped after the first season. I was like, dude, they need to make a second season. And again, this was I'm not real big on Castlevania either. I will say that. I tried playing the originals. I struggle with them greatly. I do. I try my best to play them. But I did like, I do love watching like lore videos on Castlevania, because it's a very cool. The timeline is very cool. The world is cool. Hell, I mean, I like the design for what's his name? Hang on, what's his name? Was it Hector? No, Isaac. And I'm not talking about Netflix Isaac. I'm talking about like OG Isaac. I love his style, dude. It's very the ad when you okay, hold on, because I'm about to get, and maybe it's just, kind of what influenced me a little bit, just a little bit. Well, when I told you guys about character design, it tells a story. Good character design always tells a story. It gives you intrigue. Okay, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. This is OG Isaac right here. Look at that, dude. Look at that. That is like character development, dude. That is like, okay, what the hell has this guy done? He's evil. You can tell he's evil. But what does this guy do? Right? And then you look at this. Then you look at this. I mean, I know this is fan art, but it's close. Does that really get your eye? Does that really make you wonder? No. And here's another thing. Why are we blackwashing? While, everyone's talking about, oh, they whitewash this, that. Why are we blackwashing? And honestly, Hector is not even. Is he white? I can't remember. But the thing is, I'm trying to say is that this isn't really. It doesn't really appeal to me. It doesn't. It's like they just took some tribal dude from the desert, put some clothes on him, make him look like a monk almost or whatever, and gave him like a dagger. This doesn't. This will work. This will work a lot better if he was like a new character, but he wasn't based on an original character. I wouldn't mind this being a new character. I wouldn't. But if you're gonna be just changing up original character designs that were actually pretty badass, pretty cool looking and striking, that actually makes you think like, hey, what's this guy about? This is mediocrity, dude. This is stuff I'm talking about. That's like making Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII, like all of a sudden, like the way how she looks, and then like, oh, we're gonna give her short hair. We're her famous ponytail, long ponytail. We're cutting it off. We're gonna give her short hair, and she's not gonna have her red eyes. We're gonna give her like I don't know, blue eyes, and we're gonna make her paler than we're gonna make her paler than the moonlight, and she's not gonna wear her attire that she's known for. It's stuff. I mean, I'm just saying. We're gonna, I'm not saying you guys are playing those games, but if we're gonna be playing games like that, if these people are gonna be playing games like that, then okay, touche. Actually, it's not the same DMC3 Dante from MC3. It's the same design since that's the OST iconic. But remember, Trish is in the game too, and endings he's had his run in. Wait. I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm going to read that again, Jonah. Actually, it's not the same DMC3 Dante from MVC3. It's the same design since that's the OST iconic. But remember, Trish is in the game too. In endings, he's had his run in with Mundus already. We're talking about Marvel's Capcom 3. Dante, right? I'm kind of lost, man. I'm sorry. Most iconic. I'm sorry. I'm a little lost right here. Oh, are we talking about the show? I would say Ruby was kind of falling likely after Monte. Yeah, I will admit after Monte's death, it was falling. It's not EA, man. I'm talking about it's the fact we both judged the same two games, expecting. No, I understand. Yeah, I understand. I'm just saying that was a reason for my bias for Callisto Protocol. When I thought Callisto Protocol was going to do better, because I was like, man, EA's just remaking a game. They're not even making a new game or a new IP. They're just remaking it and trying to do the whole nostalgia trick, but then playing it and then playing a little bit of Dead Space remake before I refunded it. I said, yeah, you know what, Dead Space remake is a lot more fun. But they're not having my money. They're not getting my money. But Isaac has one of the best character developments in the longest time, and everyone gives respect to this character in the show. I don't really remember. All I remember is that Lord Drac. I mean, it's the same thing. It was the same thing with original Isaac. Him being faithful to Lord Dracula, and then, but when after Dracula died, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna make my own path and yada yada yada. No, it was like, oh, Hector, you traitor. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going back to Castlevania. I'm gonna raise Castlevania, and I'm gonna bring back Lord Dracula, and I'm gonna be the vessel for Dracula. It wasn't like, oh, Hector, you're a traitor, but I'm making my army now and whatever. No. Reminds of VDMC and Yagami King of Fighters. I didn't do King of Fighters, to be honest. I know a little bit of King of Fighters, but I don't know much about it. Oh, by the way, Virgil isn't in the show. The plasma took Virgil's form to mess with Dante. Dante still thinks Virgil is dead. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, yes. It's not Teenage Dante. Just the design, though, since he met Trish in his late 20s. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm a little confused still. I just... What's this? Isaac gained character development to think about humans and how no matter who it is, they survive for their best. Plus, Isaac back then was during the edgy time period of the game. I don't care. It's not in character. It's not in character. If you're not gonna make it in character, I have no interest. And it's funny to think that anime actually got me into Castlevania a little bit more. I mean, I'll be honest. Maybe it's just me, but I'm thinking as a writer. And when I write stuff that's based on, and when I write stuff that's based on my friends' things, their own, I take great care of it. I make sure to actually start thinking like that character. That's how much I care about stuff. Hell, even when I was back in my Final Fantasy 15 phase, I have such a love hate for that game, for that anime too, in the books. Gosh, that game was such a beautiful disaster. But even then, when I was like doing little stories off the side, I was thinking like, okay, how would Arden take this route, or how would Noctis react to this? How would Ignis go about this thing? Even then, I've always been like that. This is stuff that really bothers me, and I know that I'm indie, and we're talking about major corporations here. I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand. Oh, hey, Neff. Yeah. Let's see. But back then, and character back was the same type character. Was the same type of character for like half of all media, but he was his own journey, and I don't care. I'm not there to learn about him. I'm not. I can learn about him when he's doing the stuff that he needs to do. Bring back Dracula, become Dracula's vessel, to go to fight, to get revenge on Hector, raise Castlevania. I don't need this whole thing where, oh, I was misunderstood and I now understand the human lives and I'm raising my own army and I'm gonna get revenge on Hector and all this extra bull crap. I'm trying to say is that when, as a writer looking at this stuff, this irks me a lot. And yes, and here's the thing too. And here's the thing too. I will say this. Even when I do, I'll say this, Neff. Even with when I'm doing stuff with Neff and I'm doing a AU thing, like an alternate universe thing between my IP and his IP. And again, this is alternate universes. I do my best to actually, hey, let's actually bring in canon events and merge them together. Therefore, we can have this alternate, we can have this alternate timeline, but we still have these major events because it plays an important role. It actually, these characters can walk a similar path, but it's also going to be very different. It's not hard. It's not hard to do to get stuff like that. It's not. What I'm seeing with this DMC anime, if you can call it that, this Netflix cartoon, is that it's just, it doesn't give a fuck. Damn. I cursed, sorry. It doesn't. I'm not going to pretend it's going to be, I'm not going to pretend that it's going to be good, or oh, maybe we can see these new stuff. And it's not me harping on you guys, but I can hear this stuff already, and I've seen this stuff already where these people are trying to tell people like me, us, like how things are going, or how it goes, or whatever, or they're just legitimately just making up lies just to get things going too. That could always be the case. And damn, it's working on me. Just a little bit. But it's like, this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Why we need to have this have this gatekeeping. It's not hard to respect it or have a passion. There's no soul to it. There's none. You cannot convince me. You can't. As someone who writes stuff, who has actually literally ripped the old stuff of his old stories of mine apart and reworked it numerous times. Hell, even the comic I'm working on, I ripped it apart and started reworking it and made it something better. It follows similar trope. I mean, it follows similar character trope in development, but it's a hell of a lot different too. And it's the right way to go about it too, because I'm challenging myself to be better at this stuff. They're not challenging themselves to be better. That's what's missing. That's what's missing in this media. There's no respect. There's no passion. There's no engagement with actual fans. Or the people who actually created it. There's nothing. It's just there to fill a slot. But I'm sorry. But wouldn't same idea, but wouldn't I'm sorry. I'm having a little stroke here. But wouldn't some same idea but different plot just make it a new story, but needs to be judged separately? To compare it means you're already biased to what to expect. I can see why you could think that way. Yes, I can see why you could think that. And that's a fair judgment right there. That's fair. But as I said, I've been repeating myself. Passion, respect, and just overall just understanding how things should flow. I'm not seeing that with this. I'm not. I have seen, hell, I've seen different. I'm trying to think of one. I'm trying to think of that anime. I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it. But there, we've seen shows where they've done alternate takes, and yet, you know, yeah, they're how they go about things is different. It still ends up nearly the same way with the characters, how they develop, right? This I'm not seeing it with this show. I'm not. The show had also had some flashbacks from Dante's childhood when, oh yeah, yeah, but when there's no father in the picture, even though the father was in the picture until Mundus killed him or did something. I can't remember if he killed him or he banished him or something. I don't remember what happened in Sparta. I don't. I'm just saying the show isn't going off of nothing. I think the show is going off the plank and right into the water, into the deep. With me, I should say. Uh, I say everything needs a shot. Well, not everything needs a shot. If you know it's shit, I'm getting. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting a little heated. If you know it's crap, you don't need to watch it. You don't need to play it. You don't need to. I know it's crap. I don't need to give it my time. And while yes, you are a writer, but you sorry, continue on. And while yes, you are a writer, but you also need to take a step back and become a listener because when you're a writer and judge, I I've seen the whole song and dance routine with these guys, especially Addy Shank, whatever his name is. I I did Castlevania seasons 1 and 2. I did. I watched 3 too, and 3 let me down, and that's what made me stop. 3 was the catalyst of okay, it's full on dumb now. Where there's some good scenes, there were some good moments. I won't lie. Hell, even with the little Easter egg with Dante's sword in the background of one of the episodes, it was nice. But I'm not gonna listen when I given this director's just you just know how they're like this actor how they're like. I'm no not judgmental or anything, but sometimes seeing glimpses and saying it has no soul is different when you take a step back and listen to the judge firsthand. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It just can't respect it. I'm not doing it. And I've been burnt by this Addy Shakar guy. I'm not going through it again. Sorry. Hell, back then I hated FF series or Kingdom Hearts, but I judged it thinking it was just a game for people who were idiots, but now I see it in a different light and love the series. I thought the same thing too with Mass Effect. I used to think Mass Effect was a horrible, not horrible. I used to think Mass Effect was just for people who were dumb. Like what made this game so fun? Then when I played the Mass Effect 3 demo, I was so blown away by it, by the RPG element of it. I mean, even though I know it's very limited now, it doesn't compare remotely to the first game. But having that experience, especially with the Connect, you actually speaking to the Connect to make those dialogue selections really immersed me into the game, and it really made me feel like, dude, I've been missing out. And what did I do? I bought the trilogy. But no, that was this is different. I know it's crap. Sparrow left the family and died off screen in the games. In the Netflix version, Dante doesn't know his dad until these events. Sparrow left the family and died off screen. Okay, I always thought it was the oh wait, in the reboot Mundus banished. Okay, that's right. All right, Mundus banished Sparta to the dimension where he was getting done. Okay, okay. I vaguely don't crazy. I don't remember how Sparta when he left the family and died off screen. I don't. Okay. Huh. This DMC anime lost me when it played American Idiot to the U.S. invading Arabian like victimized demons. Yeah, that's another thing too. Yep. Again, the social, when it gets into the whole social political aspect of like of that crap. Again, I hate the preaching. I do. I don't need to watch it. I don't need to. There's always this preaching. See, Neff, you've watched the whole series. I mean, say your series if you. I mean, say your series if you wanted a TV series or movie, but then it got redone to show a different light. You should want to be judged separately for it. That'd be a cold day in heaven and hell. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to change my stuff. No one. If anything's getting changed, it will be by my hand. I do not trust these other people. I don't. Even if they are other indie creators who work in animation and all that, I don't trust them. And it's not because I don't have belief in their talent. It's because a majority of them don't understand it. They never read it. They never delved into who I truly am. This is a collaboration where we're both learning about each other as we go. I've done this numerous times. And things can change within an instant. But and that's the thing too. You're going from one writer to like 3 or 4 writers max, at least within indie. Maybe a little bit more, just in case, depending on how well they're doing. But I will be having a contract with me saying I have full creative control, and I mean full creative control, and directing and handling of how this show goes. At the end of the day, it's about reputation. It's about earning. It's about financial earning and longevity. And that's another thing about these big corporations. They have so much money, they're too big to fail. Everyone's saying, oh, they're losing money, yada yada. Well, it's true, they're losing money. But they're too big to fail right now. That's why they're doing all this stupid crap. Because they have so much. And that's not me getting into this, oh, we must eat the rich, and no. I'm just getting down to to what I believe is the truth. I don't have Netflix. Saw the clip. Found it way too cringe and stupid and completely divorced from me. Yeah. And that's how I felt too. That's exactly how I felt. And no, I felt when I saw I truly was done when I saw the trailer, and I said, I don't care. I don't care. Looks it's not for me. I know that much. It's not for me. See, no one but you imagine you gave me credit to my own of your series. Of course, I would, Faith. No one but you, but imagine you give me credit to do my own of your series. Of course, I would. I know that because that's a difference right there. That's a difference I'm talking about. If you had your own thing going on, I would trust you 100% because you and Neff have been with me since the beginning of my journey. You have. That's a big difference. Now, when it comes to like, let's say Iron Circus comics, even though yes they do comics, they're dipping their toes. They're lightly dipping their toes into animation as well right now. I wouldn't trust them. Now, it's not me being against them, but I wouldn't trust them fully until I see that they have my best interest, and in return, I have their best interest. I'm not trying to make it a one-way thing. I want it to be mutual. I want it to be two-way. That sounds kind of weird. But you know, I can't. I'm not gonna be playing these freaking games. I'm not. That's why. Why do you think? Why do you think? What's her name? Who made Harry Potter? Why do you think she has a clause in her contracts? Why do you think she cemented her stuff fully like that? Some people did bring up a moment where half of Dante's face blew off, and that's saying that butcher his character. And I'm like, I I know people. Yeah, and that's the thing too. I agree with you because I'm like, have we forgotten how much Virgil has stabbed that man and has truly, and I mean truly, meant to kill him? I mean, you see it literally in the intro of Devil May Cry 3, which was an awesome intro, by the way, for Devil May Cry game. You see Virgil literally trying to end his brother's life right there. J.K. Rowling. Thank you, J.K. Rowling. But yeah, it's like you want to show that stuff. You want to show how powerful Dante is. You do. That's a wound that not many people can come back from, except for if you're like Dante or Virgil. See, DMC the anime original, new game and manga are all different with different art pieces to each, all in different views to see. Different views is that's fine. But as I said, there's a passion and respect for them. This Netflix show is soulless. I'm just bringing it up because from what I've seen, minor things get complained about. Like, yeah, we know. Again, it's the internet, especially Twitter. We know how it is. They find any little thing to complain about. I'm trying to relate more of like, hey, in the lore, this doesn't happen. These characters aren't here. Why are we showing my beloved Lucia? um, have you seen Tekken Bloodlines? No, I'll be honest. I have. I'm not really into. I'm not really big into fighting games like that. Except for the only one I can really do is like Mortal Kombat and Naruto. Even then, Naruto is like Mortal Kombat's like I just I get bored with them. I know they're good franchises, but I get bored with them. J.K. Rowling. Actually, the explosion started from the inside of his neck and healed it in a few hours, but knocked him out. So like they stuck him with something like a little nanobot or something, and it exploded. That's kind of sick, to be honest. And I mean like cool. That is kind of cool though. I don't know how they got that in him, but I could kind of see like a scenario how they would be able to do that. Like, well, this is like 2000s. This is like early 2000s, so there wouldn't be any drones yet or anything. So they would like physically would have to like get him. Man, this is some good conversation we're having, y'all. I I know I'm getting a little heated here and there, but this ain't okay. See, I will give the show a shot when I get a chance, but I will see without bias on my thoughts. I know you and Jonan are perfect for this. Again, I want people who are not yes men. If I have people who are just nothing but yes men, that's kind of like a definition of insanity right there. And I'm not trying to be like a YouTuber or anything. It'd be nice, but I don't foresee myself being a YouTuber, and that's not like me like speaking down on myself or anything like that. That's not what I want in life. just want to be a YouTuber. I would actually want to expand things and give opportunities to people by actually creating jobs. Stuff. That's why I do what I do. This is why I talk about stuff that are so passionate to me, certain mangas and anime. See, yeah, lady place it in there. Oh, so yeah. Honestly, honestly, that is such a DMC3 lady move right there. It would be that knowing how she is and like how she's like in DMC3 towards Dante and Virgil and Arkham, she would do something like that. She would. Uh, I bring up Tekken Bloodlines because that was a re adaptation of Tekken 3. I yeah, I sorry y'all. I'm not like in the Street Fighter or Tekken or most of like these fighting games. The only ones I really know are like Mortal Kombat and Naruto. Yes, I guess I would be, a noob on that aspect or whatever, but I just they never really interest me like that. Other than I see from certain characters. And by certain characters I mean the ladies. Cause Lord, whew, they got some really good ladies in there. Actually, you know what? I played a little bit of Dead or Alive. I do know that I did play a little bit of Dead or Alive, and I liked what I saw. Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm forgetting about one other one I used to play too. It was Mortal Kombat, Dead or Alive, Naruto, and Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur. How can I forget about Soul Calibur? Dang, man, you want to talk about underrated fighting game right there? I think it's Soul Calibur as well. It just fell off the earth. I don't even think they did like the last DLC character. I think they didn't because I was like 4 DLC characters every season. I think they were on the last one and it just never came. I think, and that was for Street Fighter. That was for Soul Calibur 6. Hopefully they come back with 7. Hopefully. Anyway, I got some. I got a question for y'all though. Come on. Let's see. I can't believe Trish and Lady weren't playable characters in 5. Like how? How do you not make them playable characters in 5, dude? I was really looking forward to playing as them. I was looking forward to a Girls' Night Part 2. Like how? How do you not have this happen? Look at this. People wanted to play as these two. I love playing as Trish. Trish is such a cool brawler. I love her combos. I just it's so refreshing to play as Trish though. I like Virgil, I like Dante, I like Nero. V was interesting. He was very interesting, but we're not playing as these two again? You're out of your minds, dude. How are we not playing as Lady and Trish? I'm saying character wise, Lady is on point because she is kind of a B. The only thing that's a turn off is the suit design, and Dark Com is a demon hunting organization she's part of. No, no. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I say fighting games have changed just like you think of DMC. Fighting games of the same series have changed drastically over the series, even spin-offs like MK Shalom Monk. Yeah, I will say that. I think that's just I do believe that's like a fight. I think that's like a big trope within fighting games or just games in general. I I I mean, it's like Doom and Doom 1 and Doom 64. You know, same style, but then like Doom 3 came along and it's like, oh, it's all horror now. And then like you know, years later Doom 2016 comes out, it's like, oh, okay, we're kind of in familiar grounds, but everything's different now because we got glory kills and all that. So, yeah. Let's see. Though they need Sparta. They they need through Sparta. Oh, they need to throw Sparta in there especially. Yeah, man. I mean, can you imagine just playing as Sparta? That would be so. You know, that would. I think that would break the freaking Devil May Cry community. Like what? We're playing as Sparta after all these years. We're finally playing as him. I think people would. I mean, I would lose my mind too. I would lose my mind. Like what? We're playing as Big Daddy now. But for real though, bring back my girl Lucia, please. I'm begging. I want my girl Lucia to be back in a Devil May Cry 6, man. Please. We haven't seen that babe in a long, long time. And you know what? I'll even say this. I was I was kind of I was I was kind of saddened. I'm I'm gonna give me a moment, y'all. I was kind of saddened that let me bring this up. Let me bring this up, please, because you have no idea. If you played it, you understand, or I hope you would understand. I need a better picture. I because it just doesn't do her justice. I just need a better picture. Whatever. I'll go with this. But this right here, when I saw when I saw Gloria for the first time, I was so amped up. I was like, "Oh, she is perfect." And then like later on, it's like she's revealed to be Trish, and I'm just like, "I love you, Trish, but you broke my heart. You shattered my heart." I was really digging Gloria. I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's like Lucia but better." And she's evil. Well, you know, I thought she was, you know, because she was with the bad guys, but then I'm like, oh, it's Trish in disguise. Gosh, dude. Anyway, I'm sorry. Uh, Even the Darkness games did this over their two games, showing their major difference. The first being dark and gritty, yep, and then realism, while the second was comic book. And yeah, yeah, I I'll be and I said this to you before, Flaming Claw. I always love the dark and gritty nature of the first game. I do, and I don't hate the second game at all. I don't, but that first game is just so atmospheric. I just can't ignore it. And DLC's story for Sparta, yeah, yeah, we need to play as the man. At first, Gloria was brainwashed Trish, since I already heard the spoilers. Oh, I first thought. Okay, I first thought Gloria was a brainwashed Trish, since I already heard the spoilers. Okay, I didn't. Yeah, okay. I found what you're saying now. Sorry, it's taking me a bit. I don't know why I'm being so slow today. Yeah, I, I, I mean, man, I was so I knew nothing. I knew nothing about DMC until like DMC 5 was coming out, and Flame Claw was like, "Hey, you gotta play these games, man." I'm like, "Okay, fine, I will." They're on sale. Start playing it. DMC 1, damn, DMC 1 is hard. I'm playing this. What difficulty am I on? Oh, I'm on normal. Are you for real? Are you sure? Because I'm dying like every freaking level, dude. I'm dying. How am I gonna beat this game? The Neo Angelo comes in. I like this fight. I actually like playing this now. This is fun. I'm fighting against Neo Angelo, this knight in dark armor, and he's we're trading blows for blows with the swords and stuff, and got the music going on, you know. And then I get to Nightmare. I'm just like, oh, kill. I'm just like, stop, just die already, dude. It's Nightmare. It lives up to his name. Nightmare is a horrible, horrible boss. Then I fought against the Falcon or whatever his name was, the Griffin, whatever. Fought against him. That was kind of fun. Then fighting against Trish and Nightmare. Oh my gosh. Oh, I think that's worse than Agni and Rudra. I think that is the word. I think that's worse than Agni and Rudra. Oh my gosh, I never want to do that again. And then there was Mundus. Oh, I was going insane when I was fighting against Mundus. I was. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm finally done with the flying section. Wait, what? I'm in this volcano area now, and I gotta fight him. Oh, here we go. And he's making like meteors drop. What is this, dude? I do want Lucia back so badly, and she's the strongest female devil hunter, bro. You're speaking truth, man. You are. Hang on, because we gotta do this right, Jonan. Jonan, we gotta do this right. We need her back for real. How am I gonna do this? Hold on. I gotta do. I gotta. I. Here we go. We gotta do it the right way, Jonan. We are gonna be Sims, okay? We're gonna be Sims for a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Lucia. That's why I don't like gatekeeping games or series, because if it was your like what series wins this, plus imagine original fans wanted more to like only, like I said, if it gets radical, that's when it's bad. But as we are at, right now, where we are at things, it's necessary. It's very necessary. Very. The Night with Wolves from DMC2. The Night with Wolves. The Night with Wolves. The Night with Wolves from DMC2. I'm trying to remember, bro. The Night with Wolves. Oh, oh, oh! I remember him now. I remember him now. I was just about to look up, and then it flashed to my mind. Was he hard? I don't think he was hard for me. Ah, that sounds weird. I don't think he was a hard boss fight. I know people are like saying the infested chopper was a hard boss fight. I don't think that was a hard boss fight too. I now I'm an infested tank. The infested tank wasn't bad. I think the one that really gave me some trouble was for DMC2, I mean. I think it was the water snake thing lady. can't remember her name. I know she was a demoness, but her thing was ridiculous. And the three oh it would no, I'm take that back. It was definitely the three faces guy. Oh, that guy was annoying. It wasn't even difficult. It was just annoying. Griffin, yeah. Uh, I could be wrong, but I don't think Agni Rouge was hard, bro. You gotta teach me. You gotta coach me because every other boss they were fine. I wouldn't say they were easy, but they were fine. But then when I got to Agni Rouge, I wanted to throw my controller in the screen, bro. I really wanted to. uh, every series community becomes an issue some sooner or later. Even yours down the line might happen, but I judge on community to get others into. I judge on the very series itself. Nothing else. I hope not, because if they're really true fans of my stuff, they wouldn't be doing that crap. I hope not. And that will also reflect upon me too, because it means that uh, I I didn't do my job right, and I'm putting other people, other fans at risk of just walking away from my stuff. I don't want that. Bro, that Mundus boss fight, the flying that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. That flying section. Oh my gosh. That was horrible. I think that was like one of the hardest boss fights actually I think it was harder than Agni and Rudra for me. I, I think that was the hardest boss fight ever that I've done. Oh no, I'm sorry. No. I don't know which one is worse. Either the nightmare and Trish fight or Mundus fight. The Mundus flight, whatever. Uh and if you remember to use the double trigger a lot in the volcano stage, but not gonna lie, I love that boss fight. It was easier to manage just because you weren't flying, but it was the fact that when you died, you would have to restart the whole thing, like restart the whole boss fight, as in doing the whole flying. Oh, dude, you have no idea how many times I had to restart that. Yeah, that three faces guy was annoying. Yeah. It's not, that you failed if it happens. It just means that you put your example down and have they'll stay or go based on it. No one got time for that, dude. That's what I'm trying to get down to. No one has time to deal with that lunacy. Either act your age or get the hell out. Because if you're acting like your shoe size, then you just need to get the hell out. I'm I'm not gonna be Mr. Nice Guy. I'm not gonna be Mr. Friendly. If you're actively just being an ass and and I don't know what the hell is your problem, and you're just going crazy and berserk because your parents um failed to be a parent and teach you the right ways of how to be a decent human being, or at least be a respectable human being. I'm not gonna babysit you. I'm not gonna say, here, little Ronnie or little Misha or whatever, oh, come take my hand. No, get the hell out. Go somewhere else. Go bother someone else. Meanwhile, I and my people can live in peace, can talk about things, can have good debates, and everything's gonna be fine. I don't need to care to your mental health or your mental illness or whatever. Be a be a damn adult. Be a darn adult. You're 20 something, you're 30 something, you're 40, you're 50, whatever. I don't need to be your babysitter. I'm not your parent. I I'm not your husband. I'm not your boyfriend. You need to be an adult. If you can't, oh well, go away. It's fine if we disagree on things, but if you're going to be acting like an animal, I'm not dealing with it. I do want to draw Lucio hugging Dante when he returned to his shop. Oh, bro, don't have her hug. Have her kiss him. But to be, I'm sorry. I'm getting passionate there again. Sorry, y'all. But to be, geez, can I speak? But to be over your people is to let those succeed what your people want, and some, uh, if those some are come on, read. If those some are issues, the real fans uh wean off them without your help. They got it for you. Look, man, you know how I feel about things, especially when it comes to like doing just not even YouTube, but just being on an online presence. Things can get sorry. Things can get murky real fast, real quick. We know this. I'm not saying I'm perfect at handling different things, but this is the internet age, y'all. Sometimes even when we do our best to make sure that we're doing things right, or not trying to reveal too much, there's just support is always welcome, but there have been instances where even though the person does get support, things don't get better, unfortunately, in those unfortunate cases, I mean. But I would, I'm not gonna have them like be my, be like people just to defend me and all that. I I'm there to help, at least give that respect back to them. Where it's my duty to make sure, hey, this person needs to go because they're being disruptive. My guy shouldn't be dealing with that in the first place. Again, nobody has time for that nonsense. Remember how I said DMC2 was meant to be the last in the series? The ending was left up if whether or not Dante escaped hell. And oh yeah, wow, I did forget about that ending. Escaped hell, and if not, the motorcycle driving by was actually him or not. Yeah, I forgot about that ending. I'll be honest. Again, the story wasn't really well written. It wasn't. It was mainly forgettable, except for Lucia. uh, yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, because I just, I've always got it in my head. Like I said, I've always got it in my head where it was like, okay, it's DMC3, DMC1, DMC2, DMC anime, and then DMC4 and 5. That's how I've always thought it like that. The things get better just by leading by example or leading astray. Many game or other production companies have failed or contradicted themselves to ruin, like Blizzard. Oh gosh, wow, we're going back that long, man. That was a big deal back then. The whole Activision Blizzard fiasco. Not even Activision, it was just Blizzard. The whole Blizzard fiasco. You brought, man, I forgot. It's been a minute. I forgot about that. Uh, or the people of Call of Duty. Oh, what isn't Call of Duty doing? What isn't Activision doing? What aren't they doing? I'll tell you what they're not doing: making good games. I miss the days when Call of Duty was it had an identity. When it had an identity, I missed when it was a leader and not a trend follower. I joined in back in I joined back when World War came out. Joined back when World War came out. Then I went and tried Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, and then 2 came out. I mean, that was cool. Those were the days, dude. And you all got me talking for almost 3 hours now. Congratulations. Hope you guys are proud of yourselves. My point, their community went astray because they failed, not the community, but the people who run that game back then. They were given the high status constantly, but now, yeah, because most of them are gone. Not like dead, but I mean like retired, or went and go make their own thing, or went to go work somewhere else. And that's oh boy, wait, here we go, Nev. I was just Nev, I'm not gonna read that. You already infuriate me now. You infuriate me now. Just from reading that. you mother you mother trucker. Oh, okay. I was just peeing people off in gun game by knifing and then proceeding to win in Black Ops and Black Ops 2. Good times. I missed the onslaught of racial slurs that came my way because of that. Yeah. Oh yeah. I would have. Yeah. The 360 days. Yeah, I would have went unhinged on you. I know that for a fact. I would have went unhinged on you if you did. The show also has some Resident Evil reference like Raccoon City. You know what? Look, I don't mind it. It's Capcom. It's literally Devil May Cry and Resident Evil are owned by Capcom. Okay, that's fine. That I don't mind little nods like that. I don't. I kind of expected that in the. I really honestly did expect that in the anime too, not Netflix, the actual anime. I remember getting 30 kills. I remember getting 30 kills without knifing in gun game once, dude. I believe it though. I seen how you play. I believe it. 39. This dude knows what's up. Yeah. Oh, I saw him in action multiple times. Pretty good. You're pretty good. Bet you guys don't know where that's from. Bet you guys don't know where that quote's from. Dude, I remember this heavily because Giovanni. Yeah, yeah. And both were created by the same people. Really? Really? Wait. So I know he created. Oh yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right because it was Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, and then Bayonetta, and then no, yes, no, no. He didn't do Gravity. He didn't do what's that game called where you Gravity Rush. He didn't make Gravity Rush. That was the original Silent Hill director who made Gravity Rush. But yeah, no, yeah. Jonan, you know. That's why I like you, Jonan. That's why I like you. Now Neff's gonna get a little jealous. Now that I said that, oh boy, I can hear it now. What do you mean he's your favorite? Let's see. All right. I think we're about ready to end this one, y'all. You guys did the impossible. You got me talking for almost 3 hours. I intended this to be just an hour long. Oh, Jonan. Remember, DMC was a prototype of Resident Evil 4. Dante. Yeah, it was. Yep, you're right. You're right. That's yeah. Cause let me think. Yeah, because when I think back to it, I was like, oh yeah, Dante does remind me of Leon back in DMC 1. So yeah, and the art book that I showed y'all earlier recovers that too a little bit. So that's I was like, yeah. He not only did he made 3 freaking banger game IPs. Can you do Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, and then Bayonetta? Truly, he is one of the greats. Really is. But anyway, I'm ready to call this a night. I don't know if I'll stream later on, like tomorrow. Well, today is tomorrow, to be honest. Well, my time at least. And if I do, it might just be. To be honest, I really should be in bed. Yeah, you should. This usually is around your time, to be honest. I'm gonna wrap it up. If I do a stream, it's probably gonna be on my phone, and I'm gonna be like talking about my mangas. Maybe dive back into Monster Musume. and I don't know. I got a lot of things to do. Gotta write a chapter. Gotta take care of the house. Gotta write out a chapter. Gotta study. And I don't know. I've been very drained, y'all. I've been very drained this week. I've been forcing myself to do a lot of things just to get myself out of a rut. So there have been, I'm gonna try my best later on to do some more things, but nothing bad. I would say it's nothing like bad going on in my life or anything like that. It's just overworking myself, maybe. Overworking myself, stress, and all that. So, hey, I appreciate y'all being here. I'm glad I got to debate with y'all. I'm glad to actually have people like y'all in my stream. And, of course, we're talking about babes. Devil May Cry. Dante must die. The not so Virgil. Just a lot of things going on. This was fun. This is how it's supposed to be anyway. This is how it's supposed to be. Not this woke soy type of like deal, like people like can't really handle taking criticism or anything like that. I'm very honored and glad to have y'all here, man. Y'all are awesome. Ow, damn it. Ow, that hurt. That's why I said you need some time away just to relax. Well, we'll see. Good night and good stream. I have to be there for the Monster Musume. I can go on. For hours for Monster Musume. I can do it. I know that. Why do you think I invited you? Yeah, drunk rednecks. Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see. Like I said, I got things I want to take care of. I I know weekends are supposed to be for relaxation and everything, but I don't really relax except for on Sundays. I try to at least relax on Sundays. The good kind to clarify. Hey boy, you you lost around these parts. What you doing here, filler? Yes. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Flaming Claw reminded me before I go. He reminded me of Joe Baker from Resident Evil 7. That's what I think of. Uh, okay, okay. I'll see y'all later. Good night, y'all. Bye.